Hello, I'm Margie, and I'm here today to tell you about my experience with VIPKID. I've passed my first interview, and so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about it so far to maybe give you some ideas on how you can pass your VIPKID interview. Now, there's a ton of great videos out there that tell you great teaching tips, great ways to teach the lessons, which are challenging if you've never taught English as a second language to children before. It can be tough. Even if you have taught lessons to children before, it can be tough. Also, if you've never taught online, it can be tough. So there are some really good tips out there. So just go ahead and search on YouTube for VIP interview tips, and you can find some great videos. Today, since I don't want to reinvent the wheel, and I used a lot of those tips, I wanted to tell you how I went about preparing for my interview. I was very nervous, and I was just afraid that I wouldn't do it correctly, so I watched tons of videos. And what I did was I took notes. I took my one or two favorite videos that I thought had the most helpful tips, and I took notes. I said, what specifically did they say? And I matched them to each slide, so I knew specifically what to say. The other thing I did was I opened my camera on my computer and I practiced so I could see myself on camera. Then I got smart and I found an online classroom, and I uploaded the PDF file onto that online classroom, and I set up I signed online, and I invited someone in my family. Everybody was my test student also, so it looked very much like the VIPKID classroom. And I set my timer, and I told them to act like a 5-year-old child who didn't know much English. And that was very helpful. And then I also screen recorded that. So I recorded my lesson, and then I could watch it back and see what I did well, what I needed to correct, and that was very helpful. I also discovered that I was plenty enthusiastic on the video. Now, I have experience teaching children in English in person, so I've got plenty of tricks up my sleeve in terms of speaking in simple sentences and using facial expressions and being enthusiastic. So that is not an issue for me. It's been a long time though, so I needed to brush up on some of my skills, but as I found, it all just comes back. It's like riding a bicycle. Then, let me see, the other things I wanted to share with you were, just had it and I blanked out. What else did I do? I made a list of everything I needed, so that before I had my interview, I checked over my list to make sure I wasn't missing any supplies. I also decided to go with more simple because this was the interview, and so anytime there was a question about whether I should go more elaborate, I went with more simple. And I also decided, because I saw a video online that said that they were changing all their interview tactics. This was like end of April, and they sent an email to the teachers, and they said, please wait, we'll let you know when more information is available. Well, this kind of freaked me out. I was like, uh-oh, all this research I've done maybe is null and void. And so what I did is I made sure I read over the VIPKID tips that they supplied me, not just the videos that I found online. I also made sure I looked at the instructions on the bottom of all of the slides. So if you are watching the videos, make sure you follow the directions that VIPKID wants you to do. Now, the feedback I received was that I needed to isolate my mistakes. So I complimented the child when they made a mistake and then corrected them. Now, I've seen that tip in other videos, and that's how I actually teach myself, because I want to encourage the child to for speaking, you know, and if they are correct but they make one small mistake, I still want to acknowledge them. But the feedback I was given is that I should say good try and not good job. And so I can certainly appreciate that, because you don't want to, maybe a parent might hear that and be like, why are you telling my child they did a good job when they made a mistake? So point well taken. So good try, say good try instead of good job, because you're still complimenting the child, but you're also acknowledging that they made a mistake. So then you say good job, and then you isolate the mistake. So what I had done is I corrected the mistake, but I said the full sentence again. Whereas, so for example, if the child said, it is bear, and they're supposed to say it is a bear, instead of saying good try, it is a bear, I should have said good try, a bear, and then make the child repeat, and then say it is a bear. Okay, but I would also probably want to say a bear and get them to repeat it 2 or 3 times before I get them to repeat the entire sentence. So that was a good tip, I thought, and maybe a common one. And another tip I received was the way to get, and I heard this on other videos, but it didn't stand out enough for me, was, and I was aware of this, but I did not do it well in my interview, was getting the child to say 50 to 70% of the output, teacher would only be 30 to 50% of the output, correct? So the way you can get the child to do more of the output is repetition. And so I actually did this in my practice lessons with my children and my family, but I didn't do it in the interview. So good tip for you is make sure you have your student repeat at least 3 times, everything at least 3 times, because that's the most important thing. So a bear, a bear, a bear, a bear. Good job. It is a bear. It is a bear. And you probably want to go a little bit slower than I'm talking now. I'm just giving you quick examples. Make sure you, again, listen to the tips in a lot of the other videos. But I just wanted to give you my specific ways that I prepare that maybe other people have done, but they didn't necessarily share on their videos. So anyway, I think that's all I have to share. That was my feedback. Also, I didn't set up a classroom yet. I made a conscious choice not to do that yet because I thought I haven't gotten the job yet. It wasn't a requirement yet. I didn't want to put in too much effort, right, that I needed to. So my background, even though it was children friendly, it was not as clean as they wanted it to be. So have a clean background would be my advice. And you can make it look like a classroom for your interview, or you could wait till your Mach 1 lesson. Although, you know what, if it depends on, it probably is a smart idea to clear out your background and do the best you can to make it look like a classroom, because perhaps you'll get off different points that I didn't get off, and you don't want that to be a point off. Whether that counts against you or not, I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, I think that's it. That was my feedback, and I thought it was good feedback. And also, the reward system. I followed the reward system that were on the slides, again, because of that video that I saw that kind of scared me. So I decided instead of using my creative idea that I wanted to use, I would use their idea. And so I used the face, cut out the mouth so that the teeth could be seen, and I put a piece of white paper behind it because it's kind of dark, and if you write on it, top of it, with a write on, you know, a dry erase marker, it doesn't show up well. So I cut out the mouth and put a white piece of paper behind it so I could draw a tooth and it could be easily seen. So the other feedback was more creative reward system, which isn't actually in the instructions. So I don't know if I don't think I got taken off of that. That was just feedback, I think, for the next, maybe for the mock 1 class. So just tips for you. You know, if you could do that during your interview, hey, help, you know, then that makes you look good. And there was something else I was going to say. Anyway, I think that's good. So good luck. Check out or leave me a comment below. Ask me questions. I am going to upload this once I find out if I passed my mock 1 or once I become a teacher. So once you see this video, I am a teacher. I'm a VIPKID teacher. So again, if you have any questions, I'll probably be able to answer even more than interview and demo questions. So again, my name is Margie. Thank you very much for watching.